Welcome back to the Big Leagues podcast. We got UFC 299 this weekend. Like and subscribe if you're fired up for this card. I know we're pretty excited for it. Pretty big card, one of the bigger cards, honestly, since I've been a fan. Had to bring in our buddy Scott for this one. Big O'Malley guy. Wanted to hear his thoughts. Um, Start off just a couple quick ones before we break into the fights we want to talk about. There's a big heavyweight prospect on the early prelims. He's from Cuba. He was a Olympic bronze medalist in Taekwondo. He's a 6'7" heavyweight with an 87-inch reach, and in his last 3 fights, he has 4-second knockout, a 3-second knockout, and a 12-second knockout. I know Scott, you sent him around to the boys. I know you're pretty fired up for that one.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying yes, he has been fighting the best guys, but watching these fights, if he goes to the UFC with the right team behind him, I think he's gonna be a scary, scary guy to fight, especially with like what you said. 87 reach is crazy to begin with. And with 6'7", and being 6'7", that reach, it's gonna be scary anyone to go toe to toe with him, especially with last three fights, 19 seconds.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy, and especially with that like Olympic pedigree, I'm really excited to see how that pans out. Another big card on the early prelims, or another big fight on the early prelims. Sorry, Michel Pereira. He's always exciting to watch. Then on to the prelims, like Pedro Munoz. He's a ranked bantamweight. Then the first, like big fight we're gonna bring up here: Gamrot versus former champion Rafael dos Anjos. Gamrot's a minus 475 favorite. He's a pretty good fighter in the lightweight division. RDA, former champ, 39 years old, kind of past his prime. Isaac, what are you looking for in this matchup?
I mean, I hate to say it because, Gamrat's honestly one of my least favorite fighters in the whole UFC because
Gamrat?
He's just a certified crotch sniffer. So, he's going to in full rat form and just basically just take Dos Anjos to the ground early. And I honestly just have probably Gamrot by decision. I just think he's just going to use his wrestling, to his advantage, kind of just, win the rounds by just, controlling him on the ground. And I just think it's just going to be an easy decision win for him.
Scott?
Yeah, I agree with Ron. I think he's going to pull it out. But his wrestling and pressure, I think, is going to win him his fight because he's going to be way quicker. And he's a younger guy going up against a 39-year-old. I'm not saying he's no bum or nothing, but I think that's going to win him the fight.
Yeah. I mean, Dos Anjos has really good jiu-jitsu, but I just think Gamrot's wrestling's going to get the job done for him. If you're looking for something to throw in your parlay and you want to take down the odds, you could take Gamrot by decision at minus 155. I think that could be a bit of value. I mean, I could see like a ground and pound win as well. Although maybe not a sub though, because Dos Anjos does have pretty good jiu-jitsu. So
yeah.
But I do think a decision's probably the most likely outcome for that one.
Yeah.
That would be a decent win for Gamrot. I mean, there's so many good lightweights. He'd still be a couple more wins away from like a title shot, but he's definitely someone to keep your eye on, and that fight will definitely be one to watch.
Yeah.
Another big fight on the prelims, we got Curtis Blades versus Jalen Almeida. This is one that I'm pretty excited for. It's basically a pick'em. Curtis Blades has got really good wrestling, good grappling. He's been in the heavyweight division for a long time at the top. Yeah. Almeida's coming in more of a prospect. He kind of fought more, started off at light heavyweight, but moved up recently. But he's just dominated everyone. He's crossed, like finishing guys left and right. And then his last fight, he fought Derek Lewis and just demolished him for 5 rounds, just humiliated him. Isaac, what are you looking for in this one?
For me, this is definitely a closer fight than the last one for me. I think Almeida, has been looking really good, especially against Lewis, kind of just demolished him. But, Blades has been around for a while and, it's got, his, like you said, his grappling's actually very solid for a heavyweight. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go Almeida by KO. I just think, he's up and coming. He's kind of got past every test he's had so far, and I think he's got really good power. So I could see him getting a knockout in either the first or second round, I think, for me.
Yeah, Scott?
Yeah, I'll have to agree. I have Almeida winning this fight as well. I know he's hasn't been in the UFC as long, but I think he's more skillful. And Blades, I like Blades a lot. He been in great fights. Like his record's pretty good, but like I got to see who he lost to. Ngannou, like all the big guys. So I think it's gonna be really close. But yeah, I have to agree with Ryan.
Yeah, no, I think to me, I'm definitely playing Jailton Almeida in this one. I think Blades is more of like a bigger name, so I think that's kind of one reason why there might be like some more value towards his side, where Almeida's lesser known. But if you watch him fight, man, he's unreal. He comes in, he shoots for takedowns in the first like 10, 15 seconds of the fight, and just the speed on his takedowns is just like it's so crazy to watch. It's impressive to me. And I do think Blades has got like really like Blades does have really good grappling, but I just think Almeida's even on a higher level than him. I mean, he's a black belt. And just what he's been doing to people has been impressive.
Yeah.
And kind of like you said, Cho, like it seems like every time Blades gets in a big spot, he seems to fold. Like he got KO'd by Ngannou, he got KO'd by Lewis, he got KO'd by Pavlovich. I think Almeida gets this job done pretty convincingly. Yeah. Okay.
Guess we'll move to like the first fight of the main card. You know, we got your boy here, David, probably the biggest Petr Yan fan around.
Oh yeah.
Dong. What are you looking for? You got your boy here, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I definitely got my boy in this one. Petr Yan -120 favorite, Song Yadong +100. I mean, they got same reach, basically same height, same weight. Petr Yan, only 31 years old. Like you kind of think of him as more of an older guy, but he's definitely not like too old to still be at that top level. And a lot of people are counting him out because he's lost a lot of his fights recently, but he lost a razor thin decision to Sterling. Then he got robbed against O'Malley. He beat him 30-27, mopped the floor with him, got one of the biggest robberies I've ever seen. And then he fought Marab, who sniffed his crotch more than I've ever seen anyone sniff someone's crotch, went 11 for 49 on takedowns. And now Jan's coming for a bounce back fight against Yadong. Yadong's really good. He's got a lot of power, good grappler, good striker. But I just don't think he's on the same level as those other guys that beat Jan. I think Jan's super hungry to make a comeback here. And I think he's going to edge out a decision.
Yeah. For me, I just, kind of on some of the points you said, I think, Piotr's losses are kind of to the three top guys. I mean, I guess Sterling's moving up, but, the three kind of top guys in the division. And Song Yadong is very well rounded, so I could see him win, but I think I'm going to lean Petr here. He hasn't really shown me any level of decline. Even, 31's not that old for an MMA fighter. And I think I'd probably take him by decision.
Yeah, I agree.
If I had to put a prediction on it, but no, I like Jan to bounce back here too.
Scott?
Yeah, this is honestly the hardest fight for me to choose from, I think, in this whole card. Because one side, like Jan, he's like one of the most well-rounded fighters in the division. But then there's Yadong, that he's a rising star. He has great speed and KO power. But I do feel Jan is going to show more urgency to get this losing streak away, try to get a win. So I'm going to go with Jan.
Yeah, I think I like too what you said there, Isaac, about Jan by decision. Like if you're looking to bet, that's +155. So definitely get better odds. I mean, Jan's got a couple knockouts, but usually he doesn't win by knockout, especially this is going to be a 3-round fight. Jan typically starts slow. I'll be curious to see if he does change up that strategy because it can hurt him when he starts slow in a 3-round fight. So that'll be interesting. Yadong has some power, so like maybe he knocks him out, but me personally, I'm a big believer in Jan. I think I don't see him getting KO'd. I think too, like fight to go the distance, yes, -235. I think that could be another small one to parlay as well.
I mean, also how, Cho was talking about, Piotr's going to have some urgency for this fight. I agree with that because I feel like if he loses this fight, that'd be, 4 straight losses. So I think his title shots would probably be in the rearview mirror for this division. So I think I agree what you said there, Cho.
Moving on to the next fight of the main card, Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. Jack's a minus 170 favorite, Burns plus 140. Burns, 37 years old. He's getting old, but he's still been fighting at a high level. He's got world-class jiu-jitsu. He had that great fight against Hamzat that we were just talking about earlier. I started recording, where it's just a war, and he really gained a lot of respect from fans with that.
Yeah.
And Della Maddalena, up-and-coming prospect. He's got some good boxing. Young up-and-coming guy. Very interesting fight. Scott, I'll kick to you first. Who do you got in this one?
Burns in this one. This is the classic, striker versus wrestler pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows how dangerous Burns can be. You make one mistake and you can easily knock your lights out. But I also think Maddalena has been very impressive coming up, but I have to give the edge to Burns.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like we were saying about the Hamzat fight, I gained a lot of respect for Gilbert as he was taking a lot of damage, was gassed, and kind of was just willing to die on his shield out there. So for me, I'm gonna agree with Cho here, and I'm gonna take Gilbert Burns. I'd either have him by KO or submission. I think I like his chance. Maybe he likes to shoot even against Hamzat. He was shooting for a lot of takedowns. He likes to shoot. So I could see, and he's got incredible jiu-jitsu. So I could see, if the fight went to the ground, maybe him getting a cheeky submission. But I think it's a very dangerous fight for him as well. Maddalena's got, really good boxing. He's got some power to him. And I feel like, with Gilbert getting up there, if he loses like this, this could be last or maybe second last fight for him, which, hurts. I'm quite the fan. So definitely for Gilbert here. Who do you got, David?
Yeah, so at first I was going to lean with Della Maddalena. I just thought because, he's the younger guy, up and coming. I just thought it would be kind of like a torch passing moment. But I reflected on it some more, did some thinking. Just looking back on Burns' last 5 fights, he beat Wonder Boy. Then he lost that really close fight with Hamzat when Hamzat seemed completely unbeatable. And Gilbert took him the distance and really gave him a run for his money there. Then he subbed Neil Magny in the first round, beat Masvidal, and then just recently he lost to Bilal Muhammad, but he got injured in that fight pretty early on, so tough to really fault him for that loss. Personally, I kind of like Gilbert by decision, just plus 450. I do think this fight's going to go the distance too. I like that at plus 150 as well. Just some props to consider. But, I mean, Gilbert is pretty dangerous on the ground, and Jack has kind of shown some. I think Jack's definitely a good grappler, but he has shown some potential kind of weaknesses there. Not necessarily weaknesses, but I just think it is something Gilbert could potentially look to expose. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, 4 for 4 still right
now. Guess we're moving on to the third last fight before the co-main and the main. Kevin Holland. No, there's a few Kevin Holland fans in the building against Michael Venom Page. What are you guys thinking for this one?
Yeah, Kevin Holland, the minus 135 favorite. Venom Page plus 115. They're both pretty similar height, weights, reach, except Page is 36, coming over from Bellator. It'll be interesting to see how he fares out in the UFC because he was in Bellator. He's 21-2, great record, but kind of looking at the level of competition he's faced, was it that great? We'll see. He's got a great striking pedigree. I mean, we'll probably see if we can throw up some highlights of him there. He's got one of the craziest highlight reels I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think for me, Holland by decision would be a pretty safe play for me. That's plus 200. Just because he's the more tested guy. But I think I'm personally gonna pick Michael Page in this one. I just going out on a gut feeling. I think he gets it done. I could see either a KO or a decision from him.
Who do you got, Joe?
I got Holland. Michael Page is known for his, unorthodox striking, and he has lots of knockout power. But I think this fight is gonna be like a striking, like heavy match. So I really think Holland's gonna get the best of Michael Page on this one.
I mean, for me, I think it's a really, maybe the closest one we've actually. I guess the Piotr one was very close as well for me, but I think it's a really close fight. And fourth, I think I'm gonna go Kevin Holland by KO. I have a feeling that they're gonna stand and bang for most of the fight, and I think Kevin Holland's got some some power in his hands, and fought at 185 before, this at welterweight, so. And like you're saying, Michael Page fighting at Bellator, not UFC, like not as good a competition as in the UFC and as Holland's fought. So, I could definitely see him winning, but I'm gonna lean Holland here.
Yeah, I do think this one's razor thin, and Michael Venom Page being unproven kind of makes me nervous, but it'll definitely be a great fight, that's for sure. Like, definitely don't go up to the fridge during that one. Like, you're not even gonna want to blink during that one, as far as I'm concerned. Then we got a big fight after that. We got the co-main event, a 5-round fight. The BMF title ain't on the line, but it very well could be. We got Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis minus 220 favorite over Poirier at plus 180. That's definitely interesting. I wouldn't have expected that to be so in BSD's favor. Big thing there. Poirier 35, Benoit 28. Scott, who do you got in this one?
It hurts me to say this, but I think Saint Denis is gonna win. He's been on a tear, and I think he's gonna pressure Poirier early. And Poirier's last fights, as you said, 35. His last couple fights really look like he's slowing down. So I think Saint Denis is gonna walk out as the winner.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I think this would be fight of the night for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep on Holland MVP.
I like sticking with my boys, and I'm gonna keep that trend going. I'm gonna take Dustin. Even though he is the dog and he's getting up there in age, I have a feeling. I don't think Saint Denis been really tested. His chin wise, and I think when you're getting in a fight with Dustin, especially as I think it's gonna be more of a kind of a scrappy fight. I think Dustin can definitely take. He's shown he can take a good amount of damage. The only thing I'd be concerned about, he's been KO, got head kicked by Gaethje to the canvas. So I mean, it's definitely always risky betting on a fighter coming off a finish like that. But I just think maybe Dustin edges out a TKO finish in the later rounds if it gets there. I just think his durability and his experience could lead him to a late round finish for me.
Yeah, for me, I hate picking against Dustin Poirier. He's the proven guy, but I'm a big believer in Benoit Saint Denis. Like, when this fight first got made, I was kind of confused, and like when people were picking Benoit, I was like, whoa, like pump the brakes. Like, this guy's not proven one bit. But I really went back and watched his fights, and I mean his kicks are just lethal. He's got good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. I mean, Poirier's got good grappling too, but for me, one thing that I'm kind of looking at, one, like Poirier coming off that head kick, but two, I mean, he's 35. He's been in the game so long. Conor, he got 2 red panty nights against Conor. He's got money. Like, he's talked before in the past about like struggling to find motivation and how he can find motivation. Like, Benoit Saint Denis is not struggling for motivation. He's an upcoming killer looking to kind of carve out a legacy where Dustin already has his legacy carved out. But one thing that this fight being 5 rounds, that definitely favors Dustin. I think if he can maybe weather the storm early and then pour it on late and kind of drag Benoit into deep water, so I think he could potentially get a finish there.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just think Benoit is a high level.
That's kind of what I was saying. I mean, we haven't really seen Benoit Saint Denis go, into the championship rounds yet. So I think if, they're still going around in the fourth and fifth round, they've already had some damage done. Maybe Dustin, with his grit, just ekes it out the fourth or fifth round of the finish. That's kind of what I'd be hoping for as a Dustin fan, but definitely going to be a really tough challenge for him. Guess now we got to go to.
Actually, one more thing. This fight actually reminds me a lot about like when Gaethje fought Fiziev recently. It was kind of a similar storyline. Like, Gaethje's the underdog. He's old, took a lot of damage. Fiziev's this young, hungry lion, like, he's the next wave. And I was kind of like, whoa, like, pump the brakes. Like, Gaethje's pretty good. Like, let's not count him out too quick. So it's definitely reminds me a lot of that. It's just looking at kind of the difference. Okay, who's better, like Benoit or Fiziev? And while Fiziev is good, I'm really interested to see Benoit in this, because this is a huge step up for him. He's never really fought anyone like even in the top 10. So
yeah,
we'll really see if he's for real. But I definitely do think he is. Yeah. Sorry, we can move on to the main event here. We got your boy Scott, Sean O'Malley versus his rival Cheeto Vera. Sean O'Malley minus 290 favorite, Cheeto plus 235. Only a 1.5 inch reach advantage for Sean in this one, so he can't just sit back and use his reach. He'll have to work. I think this will be predominantly a striking match. Cheeto does have good jiu-jitsu, but I think it'll basically be a striking match. Since he's your glorious king, Scott, I'll let you take the first shot at it.
Yeah, I love Vera. Him and O'Malley go toe and toe with my favorite fighters in the division. I always love Vera, but like Vera, he's a dangerous vet. He can capitalize on any mistake, and like there's a stat I'm pretty sure. Like, he just took 1,400 significant strikes, never been knocked down. Like, he is I give all the respect to Vera. I think he's a monster. But I think O'Malley's going to win. Well, I know O'Malley's going to win because I think he's going to prove himself, because we all remember what happened last fight. And I think O'Malley
made me look like an idiot.
Yeah, I think O'Malley's going to retain and prove everyone wrong, because everyone knows everyone's hating on him, especially with his new pink shorts. I think he's going to whoop Vera.
I mean, I'll make this, pretty quick and short. I think me and you kind of talked about it before, David, how Dana kind of served up his little prince a little meal here instead of kind of Marab and the other tougher fights for O'Malley. So I'm gonna take O'Malley. Not even any discredit to Cheeto, like Cho saying, he can take a lot of damage, and he's a very good striker, got good jiu-jitsu, but I just think O'Malley's just more talented on the feet. I just think he's more accurate with his punches. I think he's got more power behind his punches, and I think he's going to finish Cheeto within probably 3 rounds for me.
Yeah. I'd love to pick Cheeto just so I could cheer against O'Malley again. I mean, I used to be an O'Malley guy, but after that Jan fight, I turned on him, and then I lost a bit of dough on Sterling, so that kind of triggered me a little too. But I am gonna rock with Sean on this one. I think Sean gets this win. I think he wins by decision, plus 110. Cheeto, like how you mentioned, Scott, never been finished, never been knocked down. He's really durable. He likes to start slow, and Sean O'Malley's too kind of a counter striker, so I think could be a bit of a feeling out process early on, but don't let that discourage you. I think it will pick up later on. And Cheeto being so durable, I could see a 4th or 5th round finish from him, just kind of picking that shot, like that head kick he landed on Dom Cruz. Like, Dom Cruz was beating him for 4 rounds, and then just like that, boom, the head kick over. I could see, would be pretty interesting. Like, something like that would be pretty nuts. But I think Sean's movement's really good. His distance is really good. His striking's it's elite, man. So I think he'll be able to sit back and pick shots. And I mean, we saw against Jan, he got destroyed 30-27. and Dana threatened the judges' families, so they gave him the win. So
He looked
yeah, if it goes to
surprised that
decision,
I was
what?
a fan of Vera. He looked surprised on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, as an O'Malley fan, I wouldn't expect you to also be a Cheeto fan, but I can see it now that you say like Cheeto is a pretty fan favorite guy.
Yeah.
You got something there, Isaac?
I mean, I was just kind of just going off what you're saying, how it's a little comical that I wouldn't think, Cho would be a Cheeto Vero guy, but it does make sense. I feel like, he's kind of a Cho type of guy to like, so
Yeah.
just found that a little funny.
Do you think that if it goes to the cards, do you think there's any chance Cheeto pulls it out?
I mean,
You'd probably have to knock him down 3 times, and then they'd probably still give it to Sean.
I mean, like, unless it was a domination, Dana's giving it to Suga. I think Cheeto's gotta finish him if he wants a chance. For me personally.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be a pretty sick fight. Any other thoughts on that card, boys?
No, it's honestly just crazy how stacked of a card we're getting right before 300. Like 5 pretty elite fights on the main card, and I don't watch the prelims like too often, but I'll definitely be tuning into the for this one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm really 50-50 of all the early fights and normal cards, but I'm sitting down watching this event from the start to finish.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for at least me that I've been excited for so many fights in one event, so I'm really pumped up for it.
Yeah, we got so many close fights too. Like,
a
lot of like pick'ems or almost pick'ems. So that's to me most interesting when you have just no idea who's gonna win. It's just a coin toss. But
yeah.
also this weekend on Friday we got Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. So pretty sick weekend as far as combat sports goes. Scott, I know you were backing Ngannou pretty big against Fury and just got shafted by that one judge.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me a little bit about that actually.
Well, I was on PlayStation with the boys. I seen Ngannou was plus 10,000 for a split decision, and I'm a huge Ngannou guy. So I put 50 bones down. Isaac and Jack came over, and we're watching.
What was the payout on that then?
I put 50 down to win $5,000, and me and Isaac and Jack were screaming up on our feet. When Fury hit the floor, I could have jumped through my ceiling, but of course, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
But for this Joshua and Ngannou fight, I have to go with Ngannou again. He showed against probably the best boxer in the world what he's capable of, how much power he has. So I think it's gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I also think it's gonna be a slugfest, but I think I'll go with Ngannou.
I just had a little shocked reaction there. I was pulling up the odds. It opened, I think Francis was plus 400 and dropped down because I did figure like the public I feel like is kind of on Francis's side here. It dropped down to plus 300 a little bit ago, and then like this morning it was plus 300. It's down to plus 240 now. So people are hammering Ngannou. That's definitely interesting. I know I'll be rooting for him. I did pick him, but the closer we get, man, I do got a feeling in my stomach that Joshua is going to win. I'm not the biggest Joshua guy. Ruiz, he quit against Ruiz. Usyk beat him twice. I was kind of out on him. Like, this guy doesn't have the killer instinct, but he's looked good in his last fights. He's been boxing a long time. Man, it's tough. I do think Francis is that dog, though. I do think maybe I'm going to pick Francis by KO, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I kind of, from Joshua's perspective, like after kind of all his, some of his losses, and after kind of watching the Fury versus Ngannou fight, like if he loses to Ngannou, like his respect in kind of like the top ranked heavyweights is definitely going to go down, and like I'm not sure if you'll ever get really a title shot with Fury. So I just think, everything's kind of on the line for, even though it's kind of an exhibition fight, I think everything's kind of on the line for Joshua here.
Yeah.
Said that, I'm gonna take Francis because I don't think Josh was that good of a boxer, and I think he's more like not a bodybuilder, but like he's just kind of built like a unit. But I think Francis is a bigger unit. He punches harder. I'll take in a puncher's fight. I'll take the harder puncher. Basically, what I'm saying.
One interesting thing too that I think that Fury kind of alluded to the fact that he might not have been at his best in that fight, and I think while he might have been prepared physically for the fight, but he might not have been prepared mentally for the fight. And I think that now, like, Joshua's not gonna be surprised by how good Ngannou is. Like, he knows Ngannou's gonna come for a good fight, so I don't think Ngannou will be able to kind of like catch him by surprise the same way he might have caught Fury by surprise. And Joshua, like, his pride's gonna be on the line here. Like, he doesn't want to lose to a guy that's got one professional fight. I mean, like, he's a pretty like decorated boxer, so it'd be pretty embarrassing for him to lose. And he's so close to getting that title back. I think his back's gonna be against the wall, and we're gonna see. Like, this is a make or break moment for him.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if he's got it. I don't know. I got a bad feeling. The closer we get, I think he is gonna win, but I'll be back in Francis.
Yeah,
that's crazy how quick the odds change right there. Especially just one day.
And then I guess while we got you, Scott, you're a big Red Wings fan, so we'll get a quick couple minutes Eddie on that. They're currently sitting in the first wild card spot with 72 points. I mean, I'm assuming you think they're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, it just
sucks
that we lose our captain for, I'm pretty sure it was 2 weeks due to injury, and Ron's gonna hate this, but I truly feel he's one of the clutchest guys in the league, especially this season. He's been proving himself to be. Like, when we need him most, that's when he shows up. But I don't know. I feel like I really hope we make a couple moves, because as of right now, we have to re-sign Raymond. We have to re-sign Sider, Patrick Kane, Daniel Sprong, and Perron. So as we don't have space, and especially with Todd Lemieux being Sider's agent, we're going to give Sider a bag, and as well as Raymond. So as of right now, if we sign them, we're probably going to have to either make a move or let either Sprong or Kane walk, even though they both been having real good stints with the Wings. So I just hope that, we get good contracts, and I really want to sign Perron, re-sign Perron too, but if he has to be let go to re-sign everyone else, I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. But I just really hope this deadline we at least trade that bum Justin Hall. I can't stand him as a hockey player, let alone giving him $3 million for 3 years is heinous. So I just hope we trade him for anything, just to free up some cap space to hope on other boys.
Yeah, I mean, as it's currently slotted, you would be facing the Rangers in the first round. So I think the Rangers would make pretty quick work of the Wings.
I'd say that's a sweep for the. I mean, I don't think Stevie Y's going to make any big moves, because I just think he knows that this Detroit roster is just fraudulent, and they're more kind of like instead of a 72-point team, they're probably like a 55-point team. I think they're overproducing, and now that Larkin's out, they're kind of going to go on a kid here, and I think they're going to miss out in the playoff spot. Would you agree with that?
I do not agree. I don't, and if they're against the Rangers, it's definitely not going to be a sweep if we lose. But I don't know. It'll be a good series to watch it too.
I'll be curious to see what happens. I'll be looking forward to the Rangers putting a beat down on your Wings there, Scott, and I'll be looking forward to. Thanks for joining us. Actually, it's good to have you on. We'll be looking forward to watching these fights.
Love to be back.
All right. Yeah. We'll be back soon with another video. I'll probably come on if Gunsel gets traded. I'll have to do a quick reaction video. So check out that. It could be pretty. We'll see how it goes.